There is a woman in the Ramayana whose loyalty was so absolute, so unwavering, that she waited 14 years in total devotion while the world told her to move on. And then, when her husband was finally crowned king, she was rewarded with banishment. But Sita is not the woman I am talking about. I am talking about Urmila, Lakshmana's wife, the most forgotten heroine in Indian mythology. When Rama was exiled to the forest for 14 years, his brother Lakshmana immediately volunteered to go with him. No hesitation, no conditions. He would follow his brother into the wilderness and serve him for 14 years. The whole world celebrates Lakshmana's sacrifice, but nobody talks about who he left behind. Urmila was Sita's sister. When the four princes of Ayodhya married the four princesses of Mithila, it was a grand event. Rama married Sita, Lakshmana married Urmila, Bharata married Mandavi, Shatrughna married Shrutakirti. Urmila's marriage was as joyful and full of promise as any of the others. And then, overnight, her husband walked into the forest for 14 years. Urmila wanted to go with Lakshmana, just as Sita went with Rama. She begged him to take her, but Lakshmana said no. He said his entire purpose in the forest was to serve and protect Rama and Sita. If Urmila came, he would be distracted. He would worry about her. He would be torn between his duty to his brother and his love for his wife. So she had to stay. Think about what was being asked of her. Sita at least got to be with Rama. She was in exile, yes, but she was with her husband. Urmila was in a palace, surrounded by luxury and completely alone. She was not a widow who could mourn. She was not a single woman who could move on. She was a wife whose husband was alive and healthy, just not there. For 14 years. According to some versions of the Ramayana, Urmila made a bargain with the goddess of sleep, Nidra. She asked that her portion of sleep be given to Lakshmana so that he would never need to rest during his time in the forest. Lakshmana famously did not sleep for 14 years, standing guard outside Rama and Sita's hut every single night. And the reason he could do this was that Urmila was sleeping for both of them. She slept through 14 years so her husband could stay awake protecting his brother. This is either a beautiful metaphor or a devastating curse, depending on how you read it. Either way, it means that Urmila sacrificed her waking life, 14 years of consciousness, 14 years of existence, so that Lakshmana could fulfill his duty. And when Lakshmana returned after 14 years, a hero celebrated across the kingdom, Urmila woke up, 14 years older, having experienced nothing. Her youth gone, her years spent in a sleep that was essentially a coma for someone else's mission. Did anyone throw a parade for Urmila? Did the poets write epics about her sacrifice? Did the temples put up her statues? No. The Ramayana barely mentions her. She is a footnote in her husband's glory and a shadow in her sister's story. And yet, her sacrifice was arguably greater than anyone else's in the entire epic. Rama chose exile. Sita chose to follow. Lakshmana chose service. Urmila had no choice. She was told to stay and she stayed. She was told to wait and she waited. She gave up her sleep, her youth, her companionship, her agency, and she did it without complaint, without recognition, without even a proper scene in the story that bears her sister's husband's name. The Ramayana is full of celebrated sacrifices. Rama gave up his throne. Lakshmana gave up his comfort. Sita gave up her safety. Bharata governed in Rama's sandals. But Urmila gave up 14 years of her life, literally, for a cause that was not even hers. And the story forgot her. Until now. Subscribe for more untold stories from the epics that shape